What up? In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the difference between the captive insurance model versus the brokerage model. And I started here. I started in the captive space. I'm thankful for it. It definitely taught me the value of work ethic, but I realized very early on that I was never gonna build long-term wealth or have long-term lasting success staying here. And if I wanted to grow something that I had true independent ownership of and have the best opportunity, then I just needed to go to the brokerage model. And the reason that the majority of a lot of agents start out here and they naturally gravitate over this to the brokerage side, it's kind of like how a goldfish will only get as big as its fishbowl. So if I buy a goldfish and I have a fishbowl yay big, it's impossible for that goldfish to grow. Because one of my favorite quotes is a Charlie Munger quote where he says, it's not about how hard you row, it's about what boat you're in. And so over here, and here's the truth, some people need this because some people need to be in that employee model where they're told what to do and they have their hand held and everything else. But if you want the best opportunity possible and you want to grow something massive and actually be paid your worth, then the brokerage model is the way to go. So I'm going to be breaking down the differences between the two. So stick around to the end of this video. Breaking down number one, when you're captive to that company, meaning you can only sell that company's products. So at my company, I was limited to 3 products. And they were more expensive, and to be honest for you, they were not the best fit for the client. Number 3 is the company controls your pay. So a lot of your income is predicated towards a bonus, which is subject to change and somebody else controls. On top of that, the biggest thing is you're at half or a third of the commission that you would start out on the brokerage side. In correlation with that, not only are you at a much lower commission, the leads are provided, which means your leads are captive. They also not only control your income, but they control your leads as well for the majority of captive companies. So what does that mean? Well, I'll give you an example where when I was captive, I was only given a certain amount of leads per week. And then after that, after I'd worked those, it was like, well, go sell to your friends and family or cold knock doors. So it took me about 2 days to fully exhaust my entire list of friends and family. And then after that, I was subject to cold knocking doors. Based on what my production goals were, the leads I was getting was not nearly enough to fund that. So I'll give you an example. At my captive company, my biggest week was $10,000. And when I hit that, dude, they rolled me out on a red carpet. They were making a huge deal out of it. Like, I was a celebrity. I was the #1 dude. And I remember when I hit that 10,000, I remember feeling a little bit depressed because I thought in my head, the stars are gonna have to align perfectly in order for me to have another week like this. Because you gotta have a certain amount of people that are answering the phone, a certain amount of people that show, that you sit with, that you close, and those margins are tough. When your leads are capped, it's really hard to hit your income goals. And then on top of that, the biggest thing is with the captive model and their biggest pitch is, oh, well, the leads are free. You don't have to pay for leads. Well, listen, nothing's free is the truth, first of all. And a lot of these leads are bottom of the barrel or low intent leads that have been recycled and have been given to 17 other agents before you, which was my situation as well. Versus coming over to the brokerage side, working with Pinnacle, here under Prosper Agencies. Dude, we work with every A and A plus rated carrier. So we work the top 30 A rated carriers in America, which means not only are we not captive to one company or a few products, we have 30, 40 companies, we have hundreds of products. And so the biggest thing for that is a couple things where A, you can truly shop around with your client, put your client in the best position to win. Because my biggest hurdle over here when I was captive was, oh, well, why should we go with you? Why should we go with your company when we can get such and such for this much cheaper? And I'd have to make up some BS excuse where this is like, listen, this truly is the best option for your family, and we're truly putting you guys in the best position so you can actually feel good about what you're doing and feel good about helping and serving these families. On top of that, and what I like even more, is a lot of times we run into a lot of policies where captive agents had sold them and they were helped out by somebody captive. Even better, that's perfect. Because instead of me having to pitch somebody and add a bill, now I can simply replace it and put them in a better position for a product that they were already paying money for. So I actually prefer when I run into somebody that was sold by a captive agent, because now that makes my job so much easier and I'm able to help that family and put them in a better position. On top of that, we only are contracted with A and A plus rated insurance companies such as Mutual of Omaha, Kansas City Life, Foresters, Transamerica, all the big and household names that I'm sure you've heard of. Biggest thing here is, we offer the highest comp structure in the insurance industry. So our agents start at 70, and every single month, as long as they're hitting their metrics, they're getting their compensation bumped up, and the top comp goes all the way up to 145%. On top of that, we have the highest compensation structure in the industry, starting agents at 70%, going all up to 145%. And then I'll break down the compensation grid in another video, but between 70 to 100%, as long as the agent's hitting their metrics, they should be getting their comp bumped up every single month that they're with our organization. So our goal is, how can we get you as high comp as possible, as quickly as possible? And then the next is, you control your lead flow. So I shared about how I was a little bit depressed at my captive company when I had a 10K week. Dude, I come here and I had a 10K week, and I'm like, I did 10K this week. And then everybody around me was like, yeah, I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. Do that again. And I was like, oh, okay. It's like 10K is nothing special. Like 40K a month, that was the standard. 40K a month was baseline. Like if you're doing below 40, you're not full time here. You don't really work here and you kind of suck. You should maybe go figure something else out. And the standard is that much higher just because we have that many more leads. And the formula is simple. It's lead flow plus workflow equals cash flow. So if my lead flow is capped, all right, well, my cash flow is capped. If I can get as many leads as I need to fund my business, well, that allows me to produce as much as I need to. And to give you an example in terms of production, dude, at my captive company, I was on track to maybe produce 80,000 that year. I come into the brokerage model, my first full year, I produced 548. I produced 6-7 times that. And then second year, I produced almost 800,000. I produced 10 times that. It just comes down to, it's not like obviously I got better and my skills increased along the way, but the biggest thing was coming down to having true control of your lead flow. And then on top of that, not only do you have control of your lead flow, the company doesn't control your pay. So we get paid directly from the carrier of whichever carrier we sell. So for example, if you sell a Mutual of Omaha product, you're getting paid a week later from Mutual of Omaha. If you sell Transamerica, you're getting paid directly from Transamerica. We don't control your pay and we don't manipulate that pay structure. You get paid exactly what you think you should get paid. Lastly, and most importantly, you have true ownership of your book of business. It breaks my heart because I've talked to a lot of people in this captive model where they put their head down, they grind for 2, 5, 10 years just to look up and realize that I don't really own anything. And if I leave, I can't bring anything with me. That was me when I left my captive model. Luckily, I had only been there for 5-6 months, so I didn't really have much to bring with me. But it breaks my heart because we've hired countless individuals that are a decade in and they come over here and they have to start over. And so I'm trying to save you guys the pain of doing that. And if you guys please message me and I can get you on a call with these individuals where they're like, dude, I built this model and I don't own anything. And I built this model, I'm like, if only I wish I would have found out about the brokerage model sooner. Not only would I have true independent ownership of what I'm building, but my income would be double, if not triple, what I was getting paid here, and I didn't realize that I was getting screwed. I could keep going, but I wanted to keep this video short and sweet for you guys. So if any of this resonated with you, if you're in a captive model or you're just curious about what are the pros and the cons, click the link below. Would love to hop on a call with you. I'll break it down more in depth. God bless. If you took value from this video, like, subscribe. Let's go kill it.